Hello and welcome to my video review of my favourite guitar, the Musicman Axis Supersport semi-hollow, okay? You may have thought, what's his favourite guitar? Les Paul, Telecaster, Strat, because that's the common sort of favourite guitar list. However, mine is actually a Musicman, and this one in particular is a Musicman semi-hollow Axis Supersport. It's actually a pretty rare guitar nowadays, as they've stopped production of this guitar. They're very hard to find. When I bought this, I think I paid about £1,700 for it, brand new. And I think now you've struggled to find one online for sort of £2,500. So it's good for me, but I'm never going to let this guitar go because it's one of my favourite guitars. It's one of the guitars I've owned for the longest time. Normally my sort of buying habits with guitars are that I may have them for sort of 2 years or so, get a little bit bored of them, find a flaw with them, and then sell them on. However, with this one's lasted for 7 years, and I still don't want to let the thing go. I really love it. When you find a guitar like this, it's really important to keep hold of it. Don't be that person who sells it on and regrets selling that guitar and never get another one. So this one's never going to go anywhere. I'm just going to talk through some of the features and some of the parts of the guitar. So it's going to be a little bit of a review and a little bit of a breakdown of why I think this is my favourite guitar to play. I always play this one live, and I've got, as you can see on the wall there behind, I've got another Musicman, which is a Luke 3. Another brilliant guitar, but this one's number 1, that one's number 2, okay? So just go through some of the features. First of all, it's semi-hollow, okay, so that makes a subtle difference to sound. I've not noticed a massive difference apart from the weight. It makes it super light, which is great for playing live, as you can imagine. If you've ever played live with like a 59 Les Paul or a reissue of a Les Paul, which I used to own, you'll know that your back's going to start aching after the first half. However, this is super light. This is really light, but it doesn't affect the tone, okay? So being super light, it doesn't affect the tone. It's still great sounding guitar. It's well balanced. It's not like an SG. Sometimes they're a bit sort of heavy. They're neck heavy tend to do that. This guitar is well balanced, so if I let go of it, it sort of sit in my lap quite nicely balanced there. Okay, so some of the features. So it's got this lovely M hole on there, which is like probably a tilt of the hat to the sort of the Fender F hole they used to do on some of the Telecasters. It was really sort of a nice feature. But this is an M hole, obviously, because it's Musicman, and I really love it. I think it's a really nice little signature little M on there. I think it looked great. This is the guitar I get the most comments on. Of all the guitars I got on the wall back there, this is the guitar that gets the most comments. This is the guitar that people ask me at gigs, what's that? What guitar is that? That's cool. Not seen one of those before. This is the guitar that does that. And when they've played it, if I've let people play it, at gigs, if you don't get a drunken punter come up to you, sometimes I'll let somebody have a go on it. And when they've played it, they sort of fall in love with it, and they can see why it's one of my favourite guitars. So the lovely little M hole design on there, which I really like. I think it's really smart. Looks really cool. And I'm really not sure why Musicman have stopped selling this guitar. I'm guessing it didn't sell very well, but I absolutely love it. And as soon as I saw it when it came out, and I've had this guitar for about 6 or 7 years now, as I said. And when it first came out and I saw it, I thought I've got to have that guitar. It sounds amazing. I watched a Guitarist magazine interview sort of review of this guitar. And I sort of fell in love with it really. And at the time I was looking for an Axis Supersport, which is pretty much the same as this, but this is the semi-hollow version. The other one's more of a sort of a solid body. And I went with this one, and I just love the design, and I love the as I said, the M hole on there, and I love the sound of it as well. It does have a slightly different sound to an Axis Supersport, but very subtle. You wouldn't really notice a massive difference. So yeah, pickups. These are Dimarzio custom humbuckers. There's not a lot of information if you look online for this and trying to find out a little bit about the pickups and what they are. It's just they just say Dimarzio custom humbuckers, so they're custom for this guitar. There's not lots of information of what they are, but they do have a real good balance of treble, mid, and bass, which is nice for me, and I really like these pickups. They're really great pickups. And the bridge is it's a floating bridge, so it's got the you can put whammy bar on it. I haven't got the whammy bar with me today, but I do use that quite a lot, and I will say that the tuning of this guitar is fantastic. It stays in tune really well. Even when I've used the whammy bar at gigs and stuff, end of gigs, you get hold of the whammy bar and give it some abuse, it stays in tune like a dream. It's really great for that. I've had the guitar set up so that the bridge sits on the body of the guitar, just how I like to set it up, but you can set it up forward, or so you can sort of bend down and pull it up. I like to have it sort of set flat. It sort of, to me, it seems to sort of improve my intonation and all that sort of stuff across the fretboard. That's one thing I will say as well on this guitar. The intonation is fantastic. Any guitar tech I've handed this to have found it really easy to get this guitar intonated and perfectly in tune. One of the reasons for that as well, in terms of tuning, is that Musicman tend to have this 4-2 design, which I really love the look of. I think it's really unique to them. I really like it, and it helps with the direction of the strings through the nut, and helps with the tuning. Okay, so if you think of a Les Paul that has sort of the three either side, they go off in sort of a quite drastic sort of, you know, pull through in terms of the string going off in a direction. It goes off sort of quite a drastic bend off towards the tuning peg. These are sort of very, as you can see, very pretty straight to the peg, and I think their design of that is very clever. It also means, because it's got such a smaller head and it's sort of quite a small size guitar, it will fit in the overhead, and I have done that when you can take it away and put it in an overhead compartment on a plane, which is great. Back to the body then, this side of the guitar. This is made with basswood with a maple cap, so it's a maple top, so it's a flame maple cap on top. As I said, it's super light because it's semi-hollow, so it's sort of been cut out to sort of, you know, weight relief, keep it nice and light. It has a 5-way selector switch, so very sort of same sort of setup as like a Fender Strat, something like that, or like an S-style guitar. And it's got some fantastic sounds on tap here, so there's some really great sounds, and I'll go through those shortly and show you what it can do. Just one tone control on this, okay, that's all you need with it. It's got the standard, so the input sockets down here, a bit much like on a Strat or like a Les Paul. Sorry, not a Strat, Strat's up on here, but on a Les Paul style guitar, so it's a bit more like that. And for me, this is like the chameleon of guitars. This to me is, I use this a lot at function gigs and gigs in the wedding band and playing live, because it can replicate a Strat very well, and it can replicate a Les Paul very well as well. So I've used the guitar a lot live, and it's the one that I go to all the time because it can get me somewhere very close to both of those guitars. Not exactly, okay, so I know some people are going to watch this and say, oh, it's not a Strat, it's not a Les Paul. It's somewhere in between, and it does a really good job. You know, if I didn't tell you what guitar I was playing and I did a clip with it, you would probably think, okay, that does sound a little bit Les Paulish, and it does sound a little bit Stratish on different settings. So it's a very good guitar for that. Neck, as you probably know from most Musicmans, is fantastic. They use this gunstock oil on the back of the neck to keep it really nice and slick and clean, and it's so smooth. It's such a nice neck. It's really sort of a very sort of shallow neck as well. It's not like hasn't got a really big chunky neck like a Les Paul. It's really just it's lovely to play. I can play 2 full sets on this guitar and my hand not be sort of aching a little bit. It's a really great guitar for that. Yeah, and it's got the shallow locking tuners, which helps with the tuning stability, as I said earlier, with the string direction through the top of the nut here. But yeah, it's got shallow locking tuners with these sort of pearl, mother of pearl tuning pegs, which looks really nice. Yeah, and it's just such a light guitar and such a workable guitar. It's a workhorse for me. I know that I can give this guitar abuse and it will take it. And it's just a fantastic instrument that stays in tune really well, and obviously most importantly sounds great. So that leads me on to, let's hear what it sounds like. So this is the sound of the guitar on a clean channel of the Marshall Origin 50, which I've done a review of recently, which you can check out on the channel. If you'd like to know a bit more about the Marshall Origin 50 and what it can do, check out that review. But here we go, this one today is about the Musicman Axis Supersport Semi-Hollow. Here's some clean sounds for you. I'm going to go through all the different pickup selections, see what you think. So... Okay, so that's the neck pickup. I'm going to move one down from that. Okay, middle pickup, so 2 humbuckers together. Okay, I'm going to go down one again. This is all for a clean sound of the Marshall. I've got a little tiny bit of reverb on there, but this is just purely the guitar, no extra effects. And then onto the bridge. Let's just see what it sounds like with a little bit of overdrive on it. bridge pickup. You got one from the bridge. I hope you can hear there's like a real great amount of sustain on this guitar as well. It sounds lovely. The sustain's really nice. With the humbuckers, it sounds really warm and really meaty sort of sound without being too sort of muddy. And if you go into the the middle pickup, the two pickups together, so a nice blend between the two. And then up again. The guitar it's lovely to play. Every time I play it, it reminds me of how nice it is to play. The necks are so smooth, so all your licks and your runs and stuff is really lovely to play. And then to go to the neck pickups, that really sort of warm rounded sound. And this is where I say, like in this neck pickup, it can sound very much Les Paulish. Okay, it's not exactly a Les Paul because it's a different guitar, but you know you get the idea of the. You can hear that rounded thickness of the sound. So let's just hear the sustain. So, yeah, lovely. Back to the bridge. And I've never had problems with this guitar cutting through the mix, as you can probably tell there. There's plenty of mids and upper mids and treble sound to this guitar. It never has trouble cutting through the band at all. I use this a lot in the band situation, and I love using this guitar. So yeah, this is my very short review of the Musicman Axis Supersport Semi-Hollow. If you do want to get one of these, you know, keep your ear to the ground. They do come up very rarely. I've not seen many online for a very long period of time, and unfortunately I'm never going to sell this one. I'm going to keep this one because I love this guitar. However, keep your ear to the ground, you know, and all the sort of places to look for: Reverb, Facebook Marketplace, you know, all these sort of places that you can just keep your ear to the ground and see if you can get yourself hold of one. But unfortunately, I do think they've gone up in price quite a bit since I bought mine, just because of the rarity of it now. There's not many of these around, and they're just not making them anymore. So, which is a real shame because it's such a lovely guitar. I think it looks, you know, as I said, it's a beautiful instrument. It looks really sort of lovely looking with the M hole and things like that. But yeah, if you do get a chance to try one of these out, I definitely highly recommend them. So this is the Musicman Axis Supersport Semi-Hollow. I hope you enjoyed that review. I will see you again soon.